Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness features some very high-profile deaths. Whether it was a famous mutant or a superhuman king who lives on the moon, here is every superhero that died in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Not even Doctor Strange himself makes it out alive of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, although it wasn't the Earth 616 version of Stephen Strange who ultimately met his maker, but several variants. That said, the main universe's sorcerer must be looking over his shoulder a lot more after witnessing his multiverse selves crumble before his eyes. Right at the start of the Multiverse of Madness, a strange variant bites the dust after a fight with a demonic creature. His body is then transported to Earth 616. Eventually, his corpse ends up becoming a reanimated zombie used to stop the Scarlet Witch in the finale.
I don't even want to know!
A flashback also showed how Earth 838 Strange was obliterated by Black Bolt after becoming too obsessed with the Darkhold. Then, to solidify the belief that all bad things happen in threes, the 616 Strange had to put a stop to Sinister Strange. After all the disappointment and hurt suffered in her early years, it appeared as if Wanda Maximoff had found her own ray of sunshine in the form of Vision and the Avengers after the events of Age of Ultron. But it wasn't meant to be, as Thanos' power ripped away everything that mattered to her. The suffering this caused trapped her in a darkness that gave rise to the Scarlet Witch, one of the most powerful beings on Earth. Scarlet Witch was responsible for the deaths of nearly everyone on this list, as she tried to create her own perfect reality. In the end, though, she realized that her methods had turned her into the kind of monster she despised. Faced with what she had become, she destroyed the Darkhold in every universe and destroyed the ruins of Mount Wundagore, burying herself under the rubble. There's no guarantee that Wanda is well and truly gone, since this is the comic book movie world and deaths are about as permanent as rub-on tattoos. If this was her last appearance, though, at least she died as a hero and not the villain. Comic book movies can be extremely cruel. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness marked the third time that we witnessed Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier die on screen. First, we watched him be vaporized by Jean Grey in X-Men The Last Stand. Then he made us all bawl our eyes out as he met his demise in Logan. And now this? Professor X is quickly becoming the Sean Bean of superhero films. Much like his other portrayals, Xavier was prepared to die for what he believed in the Multiverse of Madness. While the rest of the Illuminati wanted to stop the Scarlet Witch through the threat of violence, Charles tried to reach out to Wanda through her mind and reason with the troubled magic user. What he found was the real Wanda trapped away in her mind as the Scarlet Witch took over her body. Professor X was also close to liberating her from the power of the Darkhold. The Scarlet Witch proved to be too powerful for him in the end and snapped his neck in the psychic world. Sadly, the consequences of this violent act were fatal in the conscious world as well. Marvel fans received a memorable MCU moment as Lashana Lynch's Maria Rambeau appeared as Captain Marvel, dispelling all theories that it was Tom Cruise as the invincible Iron Man in the trailer footage. However, this was Earth 838's version of the character, not the main universe's Captain Marvel, who is presumably still Carol Danvers. It was a nice tribute to Maria, who was introduced as Danvers' best friend and went on to found the alien intelligence agency SWORD. Plus, it laid an excellent foundation for the Marvels, as Maria's daughter, Monica, developed cosmic powers in WandaVision. Unfortunately, Captain Marvel flew too close to the sun in the Multiverse of Madness, as Scarlet Witch crushed her with a giant pillar. While Maria's powers were as impressive and fiery as expected, she was no match for Wanda in the battle. Out of all of the Illuminati members, she was the one who put up the most resistance. But her biggest failure was the same as the others. They underestimated just how powerful the Scarlet Witch really was. Sometimes trailers spoil the biggest surprises.
The Illuminati will see you now.
That's what's happened in the case of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Many fans predicted the arrival of Captain Carter in the movie, thanks to one of the final trailers that showed off the iconic shield. It wasn't the first time that we saw Peggy Carter as a super soldier, as she flung the mighty shield in What If as well. That said, there was something special about seeing Hayley Atwell's Captain Carter in live action. While Earth 838's Cap put up a valiant fight against Scarlet Witch and even uttered the unforgettable "I can do this all day" phrase, the shield ended up being her downfall. It worked as a weapon when Cap flung it around and used it to bounce off enemies and walls, but it also demonstrated how dangerous it could be if it wasn't caught on time. Let's put it this way, after this incident, there were 2 Caps in Earth 838, and neither of them was much for fighting. The only good news is Captain Carter will still show up in future episodes of What If. It finally happened, the casting that every MCU fan demanded. The Office star John Krasinski as Reed Richards. For years, Fantastic Four fans have wondered when and how Marvel's first family would debut in the shared cinematic universe, and the answer arrived emphatically in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The stretchy superhero appeared as part of the Illuminati and did his best to halt Scarlet Witch in her tracks. But Wanda turned Mr. Fantastic into her own personal Play-Doh and ended his brief appearance in the movie. Expectedly, many fans are wondering if this will be a one-and-done deal for Krasinski's Richards in the MCU. Considering how vocal the people have been about this casting in the past and how well-received it was by the general audience, it would feel like a missed opportunity if Marvel Studios didn't introduce Krasinski as Earth-616's Mr. Fantastic as well. The only question is, who will be making up the remaining members of the Fantastic Four? Maybe his wife Emily Blunt might suit up as Susan Storm, even if she claims to not be interested in superhero movies.
Come find me when you wake up!
While ABC's Inhumans series was far from a resounding success and constantly cited as one of the MCU's biggest misses, Anson Mount's Black Bolt received a chance at redemption in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Introduced in a comics-accurate costume and as a member of the Illuminati, he only showed up for a brief moment in the film. However, it was arguably a much better depiction of the character than the first time we met the big shot of Atalan in the 2017 television show. While fans found out how destructive a whisper from Black Bolt can be, and Reed Richards threatened to unleash him on Scarlet Witch if she didn't back down, the Inhumans' death quickly became an online meme after the film's release. Wanda magically stitched up Black Bolt's mouth, causing him to panic, make the slightest of peeps, and blow up his own head. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Looper videos about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.